I can't actually believe what I'm reading. I can't fucking believe what I'm reading on Twitter. I went to look at some of the Tottenham news for seeing what can we make a video about today. What do the people want to talk about? What do the people want to hear me talk about? You know, this channel is growing rapidly, so I appreciate all the new subscribers. Just hit 10K on the road to 20K. What I've just read at this point, if you don't think that Tottenham are a circus right now, then I don't know what you're watching. We haven't actually got a clue. We don't have any idea what we're doing in this transfer window. We've signed Conor Gallagher for £35 million. Fair enough. We needed a central midfielder. If you do agree or disagree, it probably wasn't the right profile for me, but I'll support him now that he's here. We signed a left back from Santos, who's 18 or 19 years of age, who's never played in Europe and has previous injury concerns, who's been out for 250 plus days in the last 2 years of injuries. And today, reports coming out from Paul O'Keefe that Tottenham, quote unquote, are very scared to go down the interim manager route. Yes, you heard that correctly. Tottenham are scared. Now, people might not want to hear this. People might get angry at me for saying this. People might agree with me for saying this. But we are sleepwalking into a relegation battle. West Ham made up 2 points on us at the weekend. Nottingham Forest made up 2 points on us at the weekend. And we have got Manchester City, Manchester United, Arsenal, Newcastle, Fulham, and Liverpool in our next 6 or 7 games. We couldn't beat Burnley. We couldn't beat Wolves. Bournemouth have beaten us home and away. And the transfer window so far, with the Andy Robertson deal has nearly fallen through. We may be able to save it for £5 million. But at this point, it's laughable. Juventus are now interested in Kolo Muani. Tottenham are, trying to hold on to the player. Well, we're not giving him certain game time. We're not playing to his strengths. PSG are probably not happy with the current situation for Kolo Muani. And listen, I'm not going to lie. I am getting very, 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 very fucked off with this football club. We've got Manchester City on Sunday. A lot of the fans want us to lose so that Arsenal, potentially get their title race derailed. I'm happy for us to do that, but at the same time, I want us to win because we are getting dragged into a relegation battle. In fact, fuck the title race. That's got nothing to do with us. If we lose to Manchester City and teams around us win, there could be about 4 or 5 points between us and West Ham United. Leeds United are only 2 points behind us. Leeds United, who signed finished Calvert-Lewin, who has got more Premier League goals than any of our players. Our top goal scorer has got 7 league goals. It's disastrous. Make sure you go down and drop a like on the video. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm fucked off. Look at this report coming out from Paul O'Keefe, who's the most reliable ITK when it comes to Tottenham news. And he said this on the Last Word on Spurs podcast. Make sure you get over to them and subscribe. From various conversations with people around the club, the general mood at Tottenham is that they're very scared to go down the interim manager route. We don't have a choice. This manager doesn't have a fucking clue what he's doing. We're sleepwalking into a relegation battle. We've won 3 of our last 16 Premier League games. 3 Premier League games that we've won in our last 16. We couldn't beat Burnley. We lost to West Ham. We lost to Nottingham Forest. We got humiliated by Arsenal in a North London derby. Absolutely embarrassed. And the club is scared to go down the interim manager route. They're cowards. They're absolute cowards. This is disastrous. Absolutely disastrous. I mean, I'd love to know what you guys think about this, but I think this is at this point, it's embarrassing. Beating Borussia Dortmund, fantastic. For somehow, some way in Europe, we keep winning games. But in the Premier League, you know, you look at our recent form, drew to Burnley, lost to West Ham, drew to Newcastle, beat Brentford, lost to Forest, lost to Liverpool, beat Palace, drew to Brentford, drew to Sunderland, lost to Bournemouth, lost in the FA Cup to Aston Villa. And we have got this run of fixtures coming our way. And I'll be honest with you, we may go and beat Frankfurt, and that's absolutely fantastic that we're going to make the top 8. But does anyone think at this moment in time we are going to beat Manchester United, who have just beaten City and Arsenal in the last 2 games? Are we going to beat Manchester City at the weekend? We've then got to play Newcastle. We've then got to play a North London derby. Like, I'm sorry, but this is unacceptable for the football club to be scared. Thomas Frank has had over 32, 33, however many games it is, as a coach at Tottenham. He's nearly had, in terms of the amount of games, an entire Premier League. What we played, 7 in the Champions League, 23 in the league, that's 30. 1 in the Super Cup, 1 in the FA Cup, that's 32, and 2 in the League Cup. So we played 34 games this season. We're only 4 games away from playing an entire quote-unquote Premier League season. And we have got 7 wins out of 23 in the league with 7 draws and 9 defeats. We are, like, I don't think if you guys want to hear it or not, but we are only 8 points above the relegation zone. And in the last 2 weeks, West Ham United have made up 4 points on us. Sorry, 5 points on us. Nottingham Forest in the last few weeks have made up 6 points on us. Forest are only 3 points behind us. If Nottingham Forest beat Crystal Palace at the weekend and West Ham beat Chelsea, West Ham could be within 5 points of us, and Nottingham Forest will be level on points with us. Now, I don't care how anyone feels about that. We have drawn 3 of our last 5 games, and we have won 1 of our last 8. And how did the football club respond in the transfer window? We bring in a 31-year-old Andy Robertson, and it has been announced today that Mickey van der Ven hasn't trained, and it has been announced today that Anton Kingsky is going to be joining West Ham United. You've also got reports that Vicario is going to be potentially joining Inter Milan, and there's reports that Kolo Muani could be going back to Juventus. West Ham United are confident of signing Anton Kingsky in a straight loan deal. Everyone keeps telling me there's 4 or 5 days left in the transfer window. Stop being negative. What are we doing? We're sleepwalking. This transfer window has been worse than West Ham's. They have brought in Pablo, who's replaced Lucas Paqueta. They've brought in another striker. They've brought in Adama Traore, and they've brought in our backup goalkeeper, and they're still trying to bring in a centre-back. We have brought in a left-back and Conor Gallagher. You know, why is Kingsky not getting any game time? He can't be any worse than what we've seen off Vicario this season. Categorically, he can't. Vicario, in a lot of games this season, has been poor. You know, Fabrizio Romano has come out and said that Juventus are incredibly interested in signing Kolo Muani. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, but this is as bad as it gets. Like when you see Bournemouth out there going and signing £40 million forwards and putting them on €100 million release clauses, and then we're out there selling our backup goalkeeper to West Ham and seeing it in the last 24 to 48 hours that Juventus called about Randal Kolo Muani situation after the En-Nesyri deal is off. Juve open talks for Kolo Muani, but Tottenham currently not giving the green light to exit. PSG are not happy about last summer deal collapsed. Let's be honest. Kolo Muani's record in his Juventus shirt, Kolo Muani's record in a Frankfurt shirt, Kolo Muani's record in a PSG shirt is miles better than it is in a Spurs shirt. And that is because our manager is a fucking idiot. For Frankfurt, he had 26 goals and 17 assists in 50 games. For Juventus, he had 10 goals in 23 games. For us, he's got 2 goals in 23 games. Look at that. Everywhere he's been, he has done relatively well. 23 goals and 16 assists in 87 for Nantes. 18 GA and 54 for PSG. Over 40 GA in 50 for Frankfurt. 13 in 22 for Juventus. Comes to us, and we've got a manager who's an absolute dinosaur who doesn't know how to use him. And I'm not saying he's the best forward in the world, but let's be honest. Right now, we're crying out for something. I'm sorry, but this isn't good enough. Categorically, it's not good enough. A lot of people are saying bring back Pochettino. Yeah, that may be in the summer, but what do we do now? What do we actually do now? Ex-West Ham employees come out and said Anton Kingsky's move to West Ham is getting close. He's come out and said a loan with a buy option is most likely. Like, I'm sorry, but these owners are cowards. They're absolute cowards. They really are. What have we done to improve this 11? When everyone's fit, we haven't improved it one bit, have we? Let's call it what it is. We haven't improved this squad or this 11. You know, Juventus are waiting to find out about Kolo Muani, according to Fabrizio Romano. That is left of the window and a depleted squad. Look at this. This is coming out from one of the biggest Twitter accounts for news. Days left of the window, a depleted squad left woefully short. The argument that it's hard to improve the squad mid-season doesn't stack up when your current squad is in a relegation battle. Such incompetence. What are we even as a club these days? Exactly. I think whoever runs this account is bang on the money. Whoever runs this account deserves huge praise because this account has got over 200,000 followers and is always talking the truth. You know, look, Juventus are waiting to find out about Kolo Muani. It's a disgrace, guys. It's an absolute disgrace. I've had enough of it. I really have. And at the moment, I don't see how this gets any better. I'll be honest with you. I don't see how this gets better. Let me know your thoughts down below. Drop a like. Hit that subscribe button.